Hi, welcome to Lawwiser. As you all are aware of lately, there has been instances of negative media and social media coverages. And this not just impacts any particular organization, but also industries at large. Recently, there has been civil suit filed by the Bollywood producers against top prominent news channels. And this has brought the issue at the forefront. The civil suit filed before the High Court alleges defamation, violation of right to privacy, prejudicing the right to fair trial, and violations of program code, among various other grievances that they have had before the High Court. To discuss how this suit kind of has brought this issue in front of the public, that any kind of negative and adverse publications and coverages against a particular organization or targeting an industry at large can impact and have larger issues which can impact its operations, it can impact the livelihood to all those who are involved with that industry. To discuss this, we have experts with us. Ms. Tanu Banerjee, partner in this law, and also Hormuz Mehta. He is partner at J Sagar Associates. Welcome on board. Thank you for taking time out for us.
Hi. Basically, this suit, which has been filed by close to 30 producers and film houses in the Delhi High Court, it's basically against the profession being disparaged or defamed. Now, what happens is if any profession as an entire community gets defamed or gets categorized as one bracket, it's bound to have people thinking that look, they're defaming the entire industry, whatever the industry could be, and hence we've got to take some measures to protect our interests. And I think this is exactly what the Bollywood industry has done, which has been defamed or disparaged in the news. And what they've done is they have said that look, you're allowed to have free journalism, you're allowed free speech, but there's got to be a limit without you insulting us, without you defaming us. And I think they have taken for probably for the first time, they've actually spoken in absolute unison, and they have moved the Delhi High Court for reliefs. So it's quite interesting. This was something which was going to happen, considering that certain media houses had taken a free rein in saying whatever they had to. But of course, it's a double-edged sword. You do need the media to have a free rein. At the same time, you need them to curb what they're exactly saying. So this time, I think the media did go a little overboard, and accordingly was action has been taken against them by producing houses who are saying that look, the entire Bollywood industry cannot be branded the way you've branded all of us. So that's my thoughts on this.
Thanks, Anya. Yeah, I would just add here that media, whether it's traditional or new age, is most instrumental in shaping public opinion. Simply because it's the primary source of information for everybody, right? But then it's also important to understand that the role is to provide information. If the reporting is being done in a manner that it starts building opinions of the public at large, then somewhere the boundaries are being blurred, right? So this suit also raises similar concerns around media reporting being violative of privacy of people, being defamatory in some instances, and I think most importantly having the effect of shaping a negative perception about an entire industry as a collective. And these are issues that definitely need to be examined because end of the day, entertainment industry is a significant part of our overall economic structure. And tarnishing public opinion of an entire industry could impact livelihood of several people who are part of the industry. And so while I feel that freedom of the press is definitely crucial in a democratic setup, but somewhere a balance also needs to be maintained.
It's a little tricky because sometimes news has not even broken in the public forum, but news reporters get hold of it and it becomes a huge item. Now the police need to investigate when it comes to criminal cases of this sort. They need to understand what exactly the ingredients are behind the allegations which have been leveled. And only after that can they go ahead and proceed in a court case. Now, if it was a civil dispute, assuming it was an absolutely civil dispute and there's someone who has been defamed, the rule of thumb is that the minute you have a defamation case against you, or the minute somebody is insulting you, disparaging you in the public forum, you need to move court immediately. Now, you need to move court for a couple of reasons. One is to get immediate relief, which is, of course, something which you're looking for. But at the same time, you want a fair trial. Now, under the Contempt of Courts Act, in order to get a fair trial, you need to have your facts laid out in court. And you have to make sure that the media houses or the newspapers are not false reporting or over dramatizing or giving some information which is not true. The minute the matter is in court, it becomes sub judice, which means the matter is pending in court. Hence, any reporting after that has got to be in consonance with what the facts are, and you cannot actually start saying what you think the facts are. So that's a very important thing, because otherwise what happens is you are actually stepping onto the stones of the judiciary, and that can really have effects, including contempt proceedings against you. So that exactly is why filing of any proceeding immediately is very important.
Yeah, I agree with what Hormuz is saying here, of course. But what I would add here perhaps is just timelines in terms of limitation under our Limitation Act. Now, typically in these type of suits, one of the key grounds is defamation, which has both civil and criminal remedies under our law. And in terms of limitation, we have about a year's time to file a civil suit, whereas we have about 3 years to initiate criminal proceedings. And what's important is that the limitation starts from from when something defamatory is spoken or published. And so overall, this is also an important aspect in deciding the legal recourse in terms of are we initiating criminal proceedings, or is this meant to be a civil dispute? But like Homo said, it's of course extremely important that action is taken as soon as something is spoken or published, and when the controversy is live, so that there's no further change or manipulation in the facts of the matter. Yeah, of course, this is not the first time that something like a media trial has occurred. I recall this happening years ago in the Arushi murder case, where just based on facts that were being reported by media, people had made strong opinions, and the accused were being looked at as criminals even before the court had heard the matter and examined the evidences on record. So, of course, there are examples of such things happening earlier. But other than that, I think reporting in the media is extremely critical even for other industries. There are so many cases where there are allegations in the news about a certain product, having a certain ingredient which is not good, and suddenly the demand for that product goes down, which then jeopardizes the overall image of the brand also. Right, it has bigger ramifications not just in the entertainment industry, but also many other industries that get affected by how media has reported a certain incident, that relates to a particular organization.
It's very important to understand that there's a very thin line between a fair trial and a free press. Now, there's a very, very thin line in between. We've seen it in cases in the past where allegations have been leveled against somebody, and the media already put the person as a criminal, already find them guilty, and it affects the person. It can destroy families, it can destroy companies, it can destroy organizations. We saw it in the case of Tehelka, which was of Tarun Tejpal. Allegation was made, and that led to the entire organization shutting down. We also saw it in the case of Khurshid rape case. It was, I think, in 1996, which is really unfortunate because an allegation was made, and because of the trial by media, that led to him committing suicide. And there's no correcting anything of that sort. Once something like this takes place, there's nothing can be undone. At the same time, the media does need to have a fair hand. If it wasn't for the media, the Jessica Lal case would have been forgotten. All the criminals would have been free today. but it's because of media houses at the same time who are putting in the effort to actually expose something where we have justice. So, if something like this happens, you're immediately going to go ahead and move court. The courts, they understand what the dispute is.
I think the key here is, like Homo said, the media by itself also has to act responsibly and, draw a line between where is the balance. Of course, media's intervention has been instrumental in getting justice in so many cases. Plus, it is a primary source of information at the end of the day. So, freedom of the press is absolutely crucial for access to information also. Otherwise, how will we know anything? But it's just that perhaps sometimes a bit of overstepping happens, and that's where we need to understand which of our constitutional freedoms are being used and are we using them responsibly and reasonably within the constitutional framework. I think so far, so long as we, sort of recognize that freedom of speech or even our, fundamental right to information doesn't come at the cost of somebody else's right to privacy. I think that's important. As long as that balance is maintained, I think it should be fine.
Just to add what Tanu was saying, is the cliched term. You're actually innocently proven guilty. But unfortunately, in our country, the way it's working at this point in time is you are branded a criminal even without a trial commencing. You may have an FIR filed against you, you may have a charge sheet filed against you, but that means nothing until actually proven guilty. But by that point in time, the media has already branded you a big criminal and your face is everywhere, your reputation is tarnished. For all you know, the courts are going to acquit you. The minute the courts acquit you, you're not going to get a retraction. You're not going to get an apology for all the issues you have faced in your life. That's the end of the matter. Everybody forgets about it. So it's a little. The media has a very important role to play in all of this, and they have to do it judiciously.
And again, just adding to what Hormuz is saying here, even the Supreme Court in the past has recognized, the principle that any sort of reporting that impacts the presumption of innocence of a person is effectively going into the domain of a trial. And so the key here is for media to be able to maintain its freedom such that people have access to information, but at the same time they act responsibly also.
Thank you, Tanu, and thank you, Hormuz. Thank you for taking time out for us. This actually helps our audience in understanding the whole issue and scenario. Many a times they view all these negative and adverse reporting and make an opinion. However, one should realize that everything that's been portrayed can affect and form an opinion against an industry and impact many livelihoods as well. Thank you again.